Number 1, cross. Alright, let's talk about the cross in Christianity. The ultimate symbol that's more popular than a cat video on the internet. The cross isn't just a piece of wood. It's the big deal that commemorates Jesus' death, which is kind of a central event in the whole Christian saga. On one hand, the cross is like a badge of honor for Jesus' sacrificial death. It's the ultimate "I've got your back" moment, where he took one for the team. But wait, there's more. It also symbolizes his resurrection, which is like the ultimate plot twist. He didn't just stay down, he got back up and said, "Surprise!" People really venerate the cross, especially during Good Friday, when they reflect on its significance. You can find crosses everywhere, hanging out in churches, gracing the walls of homes, and even chilling in cozy little corners we like to call God's Corner. And let's not forget about the fashion statement. Many Christians wear the cross as a way to show off their faith, kind of like wearing a team jersey, but with a lot more meaning. Oh, and just a little side note, if you see a cross with Jesus hanging on it, that's called a crucifix. It's like the cross's more dramatic cousin, who just can't let go of the past. So there you have it. The cross is not just a symbol, it's a powerful reminder of love, sacrifice, and a pretty epic comeback story. Number 2, the fish. Let's dive into the meaning of the fish in Christianity. Because who knew a simple fish could pack so much punch? You've probably seen that little fish symbol on cars, right? It's like a secret handshake for Christians, signaling, hey, we're a part of the same club. Now this fish symbol, known as the Ichthys, has been around for 2,000 years. Back in the day, when Romans were running the show and Christianity was about as popular as a root canal, believers needed a way to identify each other without getting thrown to the lions. So they went with the fish. Why? Because in Greek, fish is spelled Ichthys, which stands for Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. Talk about a fish with a mission. Originally, Christians would draw half of the fish in the dirt, and if the other person completed it, they knew they were in safe company. It's like the ancient version of a secret emoji. Over time, the fish symbol got overshadowed by the cross, but it made a comeback in the 20th century, popping up on bumper stickers and jewelry like it was the latest fashion trend. And let's not forget the fish's biblical connections. Jesus called his disciples fishers of men, which is a pretty catchy job title if you ask me. Plus, there's that miracle where he had fed 5,000 people with just a couple of fish and some loaves of bread. If that's not a divine buffet, I don't know what is. So the next time you see a fish symbol, remember, it's not just a cute design. It's a nod to a rich history of faith, secret codes, and some serious fishy business. Number 3, PX Monogram of Christ. Let's chat about the Chi-Rho monogram, known as the Constantinian cross, because who doesn't love a good monogram? This nifty symbol is made up of letters X, Chi, and P, Rho, all snuggled up together, and it stands for the Greek name of Christ. It's like the original Christian logo, way before branding was a thing. Back in the 2nd century AD, when early Christians were just trying to figure out how to navigate their faith, they used the Chi-Rho as a secret handshake of sorts. It was their way of saying, hey, I'm with Christ. Kind of like wearing a t-shirt that says, I love Jesus, but with a lot more style and a lot less cotton. What's wild is that the Chi-Rho has been around longer than the cross, which is now the superstar of Christian symbols. So while everyone today is busy rocking crosses, the Chi-Rho was out there making waves way before it was cool. You can imagine it being used in early Christian gatherings, where someone would casually draw it in the sand, and others would nod knowingly, like, yep, we're all on the same team here. It's a reminder that symbols can pack a punch in terms of identity and community. Number 4, Alpha and Omega. Let's dive into the meaning of Alpha and Omega in Christianity, because who knew the Greek alphabet could be so spiritually significant? Alpha and Omega are the first and last letters of the Greek alphabet, and they're like God's way of saying, I've got this whole beginning to end thing covered. In the book of Revelation, Jesus drops the mic with the line, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. It's like he's saying, I was here before it was cool, and I'll be here long after you're gone. Talk about a power move. Originally, these letters were used by early Christians as a secret code during a time when being a believer was about as popular as wearing socks with sandals. They needed a way to identify each other without getting into too much trouble. And what a better way to whip out the first and last letters of the alphabet. It's like their own little VIP pass. Over time, the Alpha and Omega became a staple in Christian art and symbolism. often hang out with the Chi-Rho, the Monogram for Christ, like they were the coolest trio in town. You might even spot them on Easter candles, giving a nod to the whole resurrection vibe. So while the cross might be the rock star of Christian symbols today, let's not forget that Alpha and Omega are the original bookends of faith, reminding us that God is eternal and always in control. Next time you see these letters, just think of them as God's way of saying, I'm here from start to finish, and I'm not going anywhere. Number 5, the rainbow. While most people might see it as a pretty weather phenomenon, for Christians, the rainbow is like God's neon sign of faithfulness. The story goes back to Noah and the Great Flood, where God decided to hit the reset button on creation. After Noah and his family rode out the storm in their ark, talk about a family vacation gone wrong, God promised to never flood the earth again. To seal the deal, he threw a rainbow in the sky as a sign of this covenant. It's like God saying, hey look, no more global washouts. In Genesis 9:13 through 15, God declares, I have set my rainbow in the clouds. It's like he's giving us a cosmic high five every time we see one, reminding us he's got our backs. The rainbow stands for God's promise that as long as the earth endures, we'll have seasons day and night, and no more apocalyptic floods, so we can all breathe a little easier. Now, let's be real. Rainbows have become a bit of a mixed bag in modern culture, often associated with all sorts of things, including the LGBT community. So when we see a rainbow, you might have to do a double take to figure out if it's a symbol of God's promise or just a celebration of love and diversity. But for Christians, every time a rainbow pops up after a storm, it's a reminder of God's grace, love, and that he's still keeping his promises. It's like a colorful reminder that no matter how stormy life gets, there's always a little sunshine waiting to break through. So next time you spot a rainbow, just think of it as God's way of saying, I'm here, I'm faithful, and I promise not to flood you out again. Number 6, vine and wine. When we talk about the vine, we're really talking about Jesus, who famously said, I am the vine, you are the branches. John 15:5. It's like he's saying, I'm the life of the party, and you're all just here to soak up the good vibes. So what's the deal with the vine? Well, a vine symbolizes abundant life, but it's got to have a strong trunk to support all those juicy branches. Think of Jesus as the sturdy trunk, giving us the strength we need to grow and bear fruit, like a spiritual protein shake, if you will. If we stay connected to him, we can flourish and produce some sweet spiritual grapes. Now, let's not forget that the vine also ties into the whole Eucharistic celebration. During the Last Supper, Jesus passed down a cup of wine and said, this cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is shed for you. It's like he's saying, cheers to new beginnings. Every time believers gather for the Lord's Supper, they hear those words and are reminded of Jesus' ultimate sacrifice. And here's a fun fact. In the Old Testament, Israel was often referred to as a vine. But let's be real. They had a bit of a rough patch and didn't always bear good fruit. Jesus comes along and says, hold my wine. I'm the true vine now. He's the upgrade that Israel needed, the one who fulfills the destiny they were called to. So next time you think about the vine, remember, it's not just a plant, it's a powerful symbol of life, connection, and the promise of fruitfulness. Jesus is the vine, and we're the branches. Let's stay connected and see what kind of spiritual fruit we can grow together. If you enjoyed our detailed exploration of Christian symbols, don't miss our next video where we debunk the most common misconceptions about Christianity. We'll set the record straight on widely held myths, providing clear, factual insights and expert perspectives. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're ready to dive into the truth with us.